Afternoon, everyone. I hope you have had your snacks and you are ready to learn a lot about math. All right, we would like to welcome you to the fourth grade Mathematics Parent University. We would like to thank you for coming today. We hope that you will learn valuable information regarding your child's fourth grade year. It is our hope that the information shared with you today will help your child have a successful 2024-2025 school year. All right, let's meet the team. I am Bridget Holloway, building-based math coach at Forest Hill Elementary. This is my lovely teammate, Miss Latangela Bell, building-based math coach at Whitley Elementary. Now we will have our icebreaker. All right, so are you ready? Here we go. Let's see if you can guess the number in the mystery box. Has everybody had time to lock their number in? Would anybody like to share what number you have locked in your head? 18. All right, let's see. Good job. 18 was our mystery number for today.
While she's pulling up the next presentation, we do activities like this on a daily basis to help our students build number sense. In a classroom, we will have taken the time to find out, how did you get 18? How did you see it? Some may say, oh, I saw 8 here, 8 there, or take the chance to let them express how they actually came up with their number, because that allowed them the ability to learn a different way to look at things. So we do these number sense building activities daily. They are part of our Tier 1 instruction, and they're exposed to these every single day.
All right, our learning outcomes for today is engage in the components of Tier 1 instruction, which is what Ms. Bell said. The earlier activity was a number sense routine that we do as a part of our Tier 1 instruction. 2, gain an understanding of first quarter math topics. 3, obtain resources that could be used to help your child at home with mathematics. So here, we're going to look at another activity. This is a 3-act task. This is another type of number sense routine. This actual number sense routine will be one that will build on the lesson that you will see me model in a few seconds. So what the teacher will do is show the video, which I'm getting ready to do. Okay, so what are some things that you noticed from the short video that I just showed? Anybody would like to share? Say it again.
She's trying to make her weight level up.
All right, so the little girl is trying to balance the seesaw. Anything else? All right, what are some things that you may wonder about the scenario you just saw? Huh? Not just some things that you wonder. Like the young man to my left said that the girl.
That was her wonder.
Oh, okay. It is some, yes. Anything else? Anybody wondering how much the brick weighs? Maybe how much the girl weighs? How many bricks it may take for it to balance out, because that was one of the notice that was mentioned earlier. So those would be the questions the teacher would ask just to get the students thinking, activating that knowledge in their brain, and then based off of that, she would give them a little cheat sheet. So like to know how much it takes to balance it out, here's the weight of the brick. So the brick says 5 pounds. Another cheat sheet, the weight of the girl. Can you see the number on the scale? If not, it's saying the girl weighs 60. So based off of that, parents, please write down a number that you think, how many bricks will it take to even out the seesaw? Just write down your answer. You got an answer? How many did you say? 12, anybody? All right, so let's see. So as you can see from the video, it took 12 bricks. How did you compute that in your head? What did you use? Multiplication. So again, teachers normally pick their number sense routine to build upon the lesson that they're getting ready to teach. So some kids may say, Ms. Holloway, I use repeated addition. Some people might say, Ms. Holloway, I did equal groups. The more advanced kids might say, I multiplied 12 times 5. But all those are just a entry point to get them to the end goal of what we're trying to teach for the day. Somebody said they divided? Okay. Again, all different strategies. All right, so now we will move into our math test. So after the teacher does her number sense routine, she transitions into our math test, which is normally some type of word problem. And this is where the instruction starts. So if you look up here and follow along as I read, it says a high school band gets into formation for a Mardi Gras parade. There are 9 rows of 18 band members. How can you make a visual model to show the number of band members that are in the high school band? So at this time, if you could please use your paper or the tools. Some of you have tables that have tools to represent how you would solve this particular problem. And I'm gonna give you a few minutes to do that. Thumbs up, just show me a thumbs up so I know that you're ready, so I'll know kind of who I'm still waiting on.
I hear what you say.
Thumbs up if you're ready. I'm trying to do a spot check to see who. I want to give everybody enough time to try to work through it And this is pretty much how teachers would do in the classroom, trying to make sure that all students have enough time to be able to reason and solve with the problem. That's it. All right, would anybody like to share what you have for your answer? 162. Now, as I walked around, I saw several different people. Even though you have the same answer, a lot of you went about solving it several different ways. Is there anybody who would like to share how they went by processing or working through, just through talking to me? You don't have to physically show me. So you multiply the 9 times 18. So some of you use standard algorithm, which is fine.
So I use like the rectangles representing the 9 rows and the 18 dots.
Okay.
Two rows of 9 on each, so that's 18.
Okay, so that seemed like equal groups. She had 9 groups and put 18 dots in each group. So her way of solving was doing equal groups. That's another way. Anybody did something different. I think, go ahead.
I just drew 9 lines to represent 18.
Okay.
Put 9 on one side, 18 at the bottom, and multiply the out to
So you did 9 lines?
9 lines of 18. The line represented 18. So 9 times 18.
Okay. So that could be a repeated addition as well, kind of saying 18 plus 18 plus 18. If your line represented, each line represented 18. So that could be, am I wording right? Okay. So that could, so we have repeated addition, equal groups, standard algorithm. The gentleman with the plaid shirt in the back, when I walked by earlier, I saw you were trying to do the array. It looked like, I didn't see the finished product, but when I walked by, I think you had 9 going down, or was it 18 going down? 9 going down, and he had 18 across, so he did his in the form of array. So all of you arrived at the same answer, but most of you went about it different ways. And this would be what the teacher would highlight to the class and show the connection between the two. So the repeated addition may be the entry point. So that might be something that was comfortable for maybe that 3rd grader who's not just yet ready for the actual multiplying. So that would later go into, who would be next? The equal groups. Those could kind of tie in together. From the equal groups, you would transition to the array, which is what he had. And then, I forgot the lady who did the standard algorithm. Right there. Then you would have the more higher student just multiplying the 18 times 9. Now, when your son or daughter is in the classroom, they're not going to see their teacher showing them how to model multiplying numbers using the standard algorithm, because that is not until 5th grade when they have to use it. You will see, and I'm getting ready to show you. You will see the teacher using more of the area model. So the number was 18 times 9. So this 10 is represented 10 from the 18, and these are represented 8. 1, 2. All right, I think I have it. Yes. This is represented 8. So 18 was decomposed into a 10 and an 8. So then that 18 was multiplied by 9. Again, I apologize. The area model. This is be the vision. So some of you had base 10 blocks that are on your tables. This is be what the kids will have as a tool in front of them once the teacher gets ready to introduce multiplication to your son or daughter. So these will be the tools that they will have in front of them. And Ms. Bell and Ms. Hardy and Ms. Baker, y'all can chime in. Yes.
This is what's frustrating to me as a parent, because this takes too long. And they get caught up on making sure the blocks are straight in a straight line and all this.
this is actually the tools that helps them understand how to apply them on some paper. When they're giving their test, this is not what they're actually doing. This helps them understand the meaning behind just saying, just do 10 and 8 and 9 and let's multiply. This is so they can see it. So this is starting to look similar to what the parent in the back. Here's your 90. This is where you had the 9 and you were multiplying it by that 10. That 10 was decomposed from that 18. So that would be your 90. And I heard a parent earlier said he added 90 plus 72. Over here's your 8. So then there'll be 9 rows of 8, which is what you're getting ready to see me do. It is tedious, but normally if this was the classroom, the teacher would actually be facilitating watching the kids build this and monitoring their discussion. Yes, ma'am.
It goes back to in the first grade, they build their tens. And if you were in the first grade section, they make tens, they're composing tens different ways with their blocks. Some may put 5 and 5 together, some may put 2 and 8 together. So it's really building off that first grade skill of making a 10. So when you're doing the 18, that's really that 10, and then you're breaking the 8 apart, so you're decomposing it. So it's all building from the first grade skill. That's why it's so important that they understand how to form a 10 and how to break numbers apart. So that's basically what they're doing.
And picking up off of that, not all students may have used 10 and 8. Some students may have said 5, 5, 5 and 3. So it's however that child, because when they were in kindergarten through second grade, they did a lot with decomposing numbers. I'm sorry, y'all. But I just wanted you to see this visual. Ooh, that's rough. All right, so this would be the visual model that they would have. So here you can see this was the 10, this was the 8. This was the 9 rows of 10. So that's giving you the 90. Over here is giving you the 72. When you put it, that 90 And that 72, of course, that gives you 162. So that is the visual model that you want them to see and be able to see once they put those base 10 blocks or tools together. So this is just showing them how they decomposed it, where they used repeated addition or equal groups to get it. But those base 10 blocks help them see the value of what they're counting. So these are just the strategies that they are shown based off the standard for this grade level. Now, I just showed you using the digital tools how to arrive at that answer, but that same model, if I was to use the area model, this is more that leads to this, and this eventually leads to this. So that's why it's important that they start off with those tools so they can physically see it and know where those numbers are coming from. So you have the area model. The area model leads to the partial products, which is what you see in that middle picture. I just did a screenshot division, but today our standard is focusing on multiplication. But they even use the area model to be able to divide in 4th grade. Misconceptions. So these, I put these in here because I know sometimes when they have homework, sometimes they stick to how we learn. Standard algorithm. I know that's how I was taught in school. And I know sometimes when you're at home, you get frustrated trying to help your child get through their assignment. These are some of the strategies that we revert to, just trying to help our parents to make sure they just, come on, let's get it over. But this is not necessarily what you want to teach your 4th grade because they're not yet ready for it. They will be once they get to 5th grade, because that is where they want them to start using this algorithm. This is just, in previous years, some teachers have taught the lattice method, I think is what it's called. So these are just some of the misconceptions that teachers have used throughout the years. And this is not necessarily the best way that we want to be showing our kids for them to be successful. So here is the standard, and this is where Ms. Bell will come in.
Okay, and I like the rules, so I'm gonna try to talk loud. Let me know if it doesn't work, and I'll get behind the mic. So this is what the actual 4th grade standard says. It asks students to find the product of 2 factors up to 4 digits by a 1-digit number and 2 2-digit numbers using strategies based on place value and properties of operations. And then A is a supporting standard that requires them to illustrate and explain their product. So if you were able to just say, okay, I know, what was the problem? 18 times 9 is 162. The 4th grade standard, that wouldn't work, just being able to give the answer, because they have to be able to illustrate and explain it. And the most important part of that standard is that they have to use strategies based on place value and the properties of operations. So, and I'll be honest, I was one of those parents decades ago that was frustrated because I'm like, why my child just can't do the standard algorithm? I didn't understand it until I actually became a teacher and understood, okay, what the standards mean. So when we try to teach our kids how we learn, we're kind of making misconceptions. And a lot of times if they learn something too soon, the student will become a procedural student and not actually understand the concept of the standard. So what we have on your table, you should have a yellow sheet of some examples of problem types. So when we talk about place value strategies and them using those strategies to multiply these numbers, here's why the standard algorithm will not work. All right, if you look at these different test items, if all I have learned is the standard algorithm, I'm not going to know how to answer these questions, because these questions are based on partial products, which is a place value strategy. The middle, the box, what she was just showing you with the base 10 blocks, once students grasp that concept, the middle boxes are what we call the area model. They will begin to make those connections and no longer use the base 10 blocks, and they'll move to this area model. At the bottom, we have another examples of partial product questions where, okay, I may give you part of the answer and you have to find out what's missing. The last one is an example of using the descriptive property. And all of these strategies are based on place value. So in 4th grade, we really try to stress, please don't teach your kids to use the standard algorithm, because all that is them mimicking some steps. And we don't want them to mimic what we do. We want them to make sense of what they're being asked to do. So standard algorithm is, that's how we learn. So a lot of times it's hard, even for teachers, it's hard for us to change the way that we teach. All right, and we always say, oh, why we can't go back to the old math? This is the old math, we just weren't taught correctly. So there's a lot of information out there on area modeling, on using partial products, but they all are based on place value. So the standard algorithm, there's a time and place for it, and it's in the 5th grade. So we're gonna, ask, and again, a lot of the teachers, if you ask them, hey, can you sit down with me to kind of help me understand how this would work so that I can work with my child at home. And that's something, as math coaches, we've been discussing that, because a lot of times parents don't know how to support themselves at home. So I know as a coach, I've made myself accountable. I said, okay, I'm going to do a video lesson trying to model some of these strategies so that parents will be able to know how to work with their kids at home, so we don't just stick with how we learn. I know you had a
That
question.
was kind of my question, because as parents, we don't get the explanation of how to do it, even on the homework package. We get questions that are foreign to us.
Right.
So how do I support my child in something that I've never seen before? Because I'm looking at it and I'm like, what? I only know regular math. I only know counting on my hands. That's what I was taught, that's what I know. So when I'm looking at this is foreign to me.
Right.
But yet I'm supposed to be able to sit down as a parent who has a homework sheet and help my child with no prior knowledge of how to, because we don't get we literally get like this, but where's the examples? Where's the showing us how to walk through the process?
About the book, like where can you find the lesson, what was taught there?
Okay, so that's a whole nother thing. So
But this is the start. This is why Parent University is here today. So you can get that prior knowledge, so you can know how to help your child at home. And in your bag, you have plethora of resources that shows you examples. And it's also parent communications that's on Schoology. So when you get to your child's school, set up your Schoology account if you don't have one, and all that stuff is uploaded. You have access to that. But today is the day that you learn this stuff, so you can know how to help your child.
And when you get back to your school, that's when you have that conversation with your teacher. You show up and with the child's teacher, hey, I want to help my child at home. Where can I start? What do I need to do? Those are the conversations you have with your school and your child's teacher.
So on your table, you have a big, thick package like this.
It should be at the bottom of all of the up on top.
So this is being provided for you, school home newsletter. It is available for every single quarter, but as you can see, you see how thick it is. It is a lot of pages. So some schools send this home quarterly. Some teachers may just post it in Schoology. If you don't see it there, you may just have to ask for it. So when you ask about examples, they're all in this packet. If you just keep flipping, there are strategy posters. So like, I'm in the middle now, but if you kind of flip through this packet, it takes you through everything that they're gonna see first quarter, the different types of models that are attached to the standards.
Is that the anchor chart you're on now?
Yes,
Those are really good.
they're all throughout the packet.
This is just first quarter, so. we
Yes,
got
this is
that
this first quarter. And so, like I said, if second quarter come and you don't see them, you can ask the teacher if she can print you out a copy. Or like I said, some schools just post them in Schoology because they are very, very thick. The higher up your grade, you go the bigger it is.
Because like I said, it has the examples
Yes.
on top of the
So this 3% increase does home letter, but not the exam.
School home.
So you were just getting that front cover?
The front cover, and let them words out, that's
Right.
But getting this portion of it, I feel like would be so helpful.
And it's
we're gonna
available
go back
everywhere.
and communicate everything that y'all saying, so as a district, we can all get on the same page, so that you all can have all the resources that you all need to best support your students. So we did kind of go out of order, but just because we were on that, topic. Another handout that you have is, this first quarter guide. If you have kids in different grade levels, this has every standard for first quarter at every grade level. So you look at fourth quarter. Fourth quarter is jam-packed. Fourth grade is jam-packed for first quarter. On the back, you have second quarter standards. The next page, third quarter, and on the back of that is fourth quarter. So this is a document, if you have magnets, I know a lot of people have moved away from the magnets on the refrigerator, but this is a good place to keep this, so this document will be good to use all throughout the year, because it has all the standards that your students will be working on throughout the entire year. The other resource that we have provided for you is this book called Family Success Guide for Student Success. This one is all about math. It includes resource pages, K-12. It also has helpful websites that you can use at home, and it also contains some hands-on activities at home as well. So here you would basically just find your child's grade level, and it gives you the major standards for that grade level, and then some activities and resources to go along with it. And then you also have one of these for, well, not a book, but a sheet for science and for social studies.
And this slide here is just showing you a picture of the parent guide that Ms. Bell just showed you, as well as the parent package, which is the packet that she showed you early on that has examples of each of the content standards. So everything that you saw on this sheet for first quarter that has the content topics, there are going to be examples of that in this parent packet. Because everything that they gave you today covers everything that will be taught in first quarter. So these two kind of go hand in hand. This packet is just another resource to kind of help. If you still need something else to go to besides these two, then you will use this to make sure things. Yes.
You said those are posted to Schoology. What is that? How do we get to that?
Schoology is kind of where the students' grades are, their classes, their assignments, everything is kind of linked to their Schoology account. And your child should have some type of login password. Is where they go to log into Clever, to do iReady, to see their textbooks like you saw earlier. They showed you how going through Clever can take them to their online book for ELA. You also can go through Clever and get to your online book for Into Math, which is the resource that we use for math for our Tier 1 instruction.
So Schoology is the big one, Clever is underneath that, and
No, Clever.
Clever.
Clever's the big one.
Okay.
And then Schoology.
Schoology is what was used, especially during COVID, when we were at home, where everything was posted in, and some of the teachers still use it to go in and post assignments.
okay.
And I know Meet the Teachers coming up from most schools, registration is going on now, and the school will provide you with that information. So you, like I saw you make your note, just make sure that you ask the registrar, or, I mean, it should be given out. I know at my school, we send home that information with each child. So it should be coming home beginning of school.
And he's new to the district, so you will receive a login. Every child, every parent receives a login so they can go in and see their child's assignments, they can see grades, they can see, it's an instructional platform.
She answered the question.
And then there was a question over here.
No, I have a question. I was trying to tell him that Schoology with me, when they send it through an email, it's my daughter's grades, what she's made in the classroom, what her progress is.
Okay.
So it's kind of our district's portal, where you can, as a parent, go in and check your child's grades, and again, like they say, see what assignments they need to complete, what they have completed. So it's just our district's portal.
Are there any more questions, concerns? If not, we would like to thank you for learning with us today and for the discipline and attendance session.